broadcast with big breaking updates coming in after swearing in as the President of the United States. A meeting between Prime Minister Modi and US President Trump likely in February. The Prime Minister is expected to visit the United States in February, and President Trump has said Modi will visit the White House, and he said that Modi is probably coming in February. The US President Donald Trump has said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi would probably be visiting the White House for a meeting with him in February. Trump told reporters on Monday aboard the Air Force One on his way back to the Joint Base Andrews from Florida. He said that he had a long conversation with Prime Minister Modi. Senior consulting editor Srinjoy Chaudhary joins us on the broadcast. Srinjoy, this is a very significant conversation that has taken place, the first from the region. President of the United States, Donald Trump, speaking to Prime Minister Modi and also hinting that there could be a likely meeting in February.
Yeah, that meeting could be in France, perhaps in on about the 10th or 11th of February at the International AI Summit. But of course, that is yet to be. But as you rightly said, it is a very important meeting, conversation, because a lot of issues were discussed, important international issues. Among the international issues, of course, was the Indo-Pacific. Now, the Indo-Pacific really is a euphemism for China. And China's aggression in the South China Sea, the East China Sea, against some of India's friends and America's allies like the Philippines has been noted in the past. Besides, there is the issue of Russia, Ukraine, there is West Asia, and if India can do anything to ensure peace comes to these areas, India will naturally be very keen to do so. That's one. As far as bilateral issues are concerned, India and America work together in a number of areas, whether it's strategy, defense, economy, space, science and technology. There are just too many areas. Now, of course, issues have come up relating to tariff, relating to visas. But President Trump has been very clear on one thing. As far as the visas are concerned, he said that he likes competent people. And there are enough enough competent Indians who get these H-1B visas. And some of them are in top positions in America, heading organizations like Google. So that problem really has been sorted out. So there are economic worries about tariffs. But again, there is enough belief that India and America have the maturity to deal with it.
In fact, when the reporters had asked President Trump about the phone conversation, he also said that all the details have come out. Everything came up in this conversation. Srinjoy, Trump's last foreign trip as president in his first term was also to India. He and Prime Minister Modi also enjoy a friendly relationship. Do we know any details of this meeting that could take place in February? Trump hinting that we could be meeting in February. Where could that meeting take place? What are the details?
Well, that could be in Paris. Is one option be in Paris, because that's where the AI summit is going to be. So if Prime Minister goes, or more importantly, if Donald Trump has time to get to Paris as early in his tenure as February, the 10th of February, then a meeting is definitely likely.
Okay, all right. So details expected to come up. President Trump, in a conversation with reporters, said that he had a long conversation with Prime Minister Modi and they had spoken about a host of issues. He also detailed the conversation, saying, I had a very good conversation with Prime Minister Modi. And he also hinted that there could be a meeting that could take place. Prime Minister Modi could perhaps visit the United States in February, because Trump told reporters that meeting could take place in February. Professor Madhav Nalapad joining us on the broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Professor Nalapad, this could be very, very significant. Just days after Trump has taken over as the President of the United States, this could perhaps be one of the first foreign visits that he gets. Prime Minister Modi, as of now, of course, official details not revealed yet, but President Trump telling reporters that he could be meeting Prime Minister Modi in February.
Well, I'd like to say that some of us have said very clearly, Prime Minister Modi is going to be among the first people that Donald Trump meets, and that is now coming to be a fact. The reality is India and America are very essential partners in securing the Indo-Pacific, also in ensuring the absolutely cutting-edge technologies. Indian brain power has been very effective in ensuring that cutting-edge technologies are developed jointly by both the great democracies. So from all points of view, there is no question that Prime Minister Modi would be very high on his priority list. And I think it's very welcome on the part of President Trump to make Prime Minister Modi, one of his first visitors and one of his first important meetings. I think it's a very welcome move, and it shows significance that Donald Trump, basically retains for India-U.S. relations. Now, some of us have always said that India and the United States are going to have a wonderful relationship during the time of Trump and Modi, and that is now coming to pass.
Okay, all right. Former diplomat Deepak Vora is also on the broadcast with us. I request you to stay with us. Ambassador, is Prime Minister Modi high on President Trump's priority list? Because the meeting could be taking place amid the concerns over H-1B visas as well as concerns over U.S. imposing high trade tariffs on India.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be with you early in the morning. I don't know what concerns people have about H-1B visas or high tariffs. Our trade surplus with the United States is probably $30 or $40 billion, which is not very high. With China, it's huge. With Mexico, it's huge, etc. So we shouldn't be unduly worried about it. What the important thing about the two leaders is the level of trust. What did Trump say after his telephone conversation with India's Prime Minister? He said, India will do what is right as far as the illegals are concerned. We have not challenged him. There's Mexico and Colombia that initially put on a show of bravado. Oh, we'll do this, we'll do that. And then they climb down very quickly. We understand if they are illegals and we know that they are our nationals, we will take them back. The important thing was the level of trust between the two. Ma'am, let me put it to you bluntly. Millions of people are watching this show, listening to it. The Russia-China relationship is a non-marriage of inconvenience because they have a common enemy, which is the United States. As far as we are concerned, our relationship stands alone. We will deal with the United States as a mature democracy deals with another. We need certain things from them. They need certain things from us. We are not going to say, listen, guys, if you want to be friends with us, let's go and beat up China. No, we'll do what we have to. The important thing that Trump said, India will do what is right. He was referring to the illegal immigrants, but it could well be a reference to the entire gamut of India-United States relation. Now, how far this relationship will progress, it depends on the United States. We are prepared to extend our hand. We've done it already. There's warm personal chemistry between the two leaders. The people of the United States have nothing to fear from India. We've never damaged their interests. They've damaged ours, the United States government. But we are ready to start a new chapter, and that's what we've been talking about. You know that Abki Baar, Trump Sarkar kind of thing. Howdy Modi in Houston, Texas, he showed up. They walked around hand in hand. He was ecstatic about the reception given to him at Namaste Trump. These things matter, but ultimately it's the self-interest of the countries concerned, and there is no divergence between India and the United States.
Okay, all right. Ambassador Vora as well as Professor Nalapad, thank you for joining us. Diplomacy with President Trump is going to be a completely different cup of tea, but he has often spoken of India's skilled workers from India as well as about Prime Minister Modi describing the relationship as good. So it will be interesting to see if the meeting takes place in February. With that, let's shift our attention now.